This video help is the introduction to the CRM sales and marketing database. This application uses a navigation map, and the navigation map holds each screen button inside here for one tap or one click to go to that screen. You can navigate anywhere in the application in one tap on the iPad or iPhone by tapping on any of these. Let's do a little overview here and show you what we have as far as the functionality. We're on the sales main screen, which this is right here. The next one is the client follow-ups. This is where you actually are doing marketing and sales, and you have a chronological listing of all the people that need to be followed up for a sales appointment or anything that has to do with marketing to that particular client. The next one is the sales team. This is a single screen where the individual salespeople or salesperson puts their name into the application for the sales team, and what that does is it ties together all the rest of this data for that particular team member. It would have all of his clients, and then the subordinate screens for that client would be listed on the list here, and every time you move between the screens you would have the sales team person working with the information that's here provided for the CRM portions of the application. CRM, customer relationship management, is a fairly new thing that people are getting into as far as managing information and all the pieces of information related to both sales and marketing. So what we've done in this application is to provide a ability to document and database all the information so it's easy to find and it's easy to follow up and do what you have to do in the application. For example, we have the client follow-ups we just showed you, but this is a list view, and what the list view does is it presents all the current records in selection for all the records for the sales or follow-up on the sales. The sales team list is the one for sales team members, and that gives you the list of sales team members that you can click on and go to that particular record for that sales team. The client documents are anything that you hand out that's literature for marketing and sales to clients. This could be where you're doing cold calling on businesses or by phone. You could be mailing out stuff to them that are documents. This allows you to track when, where, who, and how you sent those documents out and where they received, and then you would do a follow-up to make sure that you are doing the due diligence to find clients and to bring in sales for bookings. Client input is the editing and information system for setting up an individual client. Just like you set up the sales team here, you'll be setting up the original client information, meaning that when you create the client data and put it in that screen, it will have all the other information coming back to that particular screen. And each one of these buttons where there's a screen, there are several of those in the actual client input screen, and it allows you to bring up popovers instead of having to navigate to each screen to see something. You can add, enter, and edit within the client input screen. So it saves you time and it's more efficient to do it that way. Then there's the client documents list. This is the list view for the documents that list all the documents that have been sent out and who they went to and what dates. You can click in the list view to go to see any individual record. In the same way, on anything that's a list or a portal, you can search on the individual record portal and on the list, but you cannot do a portal or popover like this and look up using a find to find individual records. You have to go to the actual portal or the list view to find those. The client input list view is where the individual clients are listed so that you can go and find the client records very quickly and easily. The client action items, these are pretty straightforward. They are action items for that client that you're keeping track of and following up to ensure that you have all the information required to properly market this and your products. Client prospects. This is an area where you have potential businesses that you're working with, and you're going to be doing prospect record keeping. This is prior to proposals or any other things that you're doing. It's basically the way you want to track and keep up with your callbacks and stuff like that for your prospects. Now this is prior to any proposals again. Then there's the client action item list view for this one, which lists all the action items that are outstanding. so you can check in and make sure that you're keeping up with all your client information for your action things that you have to do for that client. And this could be internal as well for your own company, where you're taking actions for your individuals in your company, employees that will be doing tasks that you require from the sales and marketing group. Client prospects list view, that is the list view for the prospects above here, and it lists each prospect so you can access them from the list view or do finds to find them. Client proposal portal, you can go to the proposal portal, or you can use the setup. In a lot of the cases, the client input screen is where you have popovers where a lot of this information is initially accessed and added or edited in that particular popover. Client contract portal. Now the contract portal is just that. This is where you're trapping all the information required to create a contract, and in the same way that the client proposal is used the same way to create all the requirements and or gather up an RFP or RFQ for yourself and produce either a proposal or work with vendors where you're actually sending out an RFP to them requesting a proposal, and you have a listing and all the things that you have as requirements that must be met by a vendor to produce the product that you're requesting, and they would come back and send back a cost proposal so you can see what it's going to cost and how they're going to manufacture that item. Client bookings is a record keeper for all the bookings and values for those bookings where you've already contracted, and now you have a bookings listing where you're tracking those bookings and going back later on to maybe pull boilerplate out of there as far as using information in the client booking information, proposal, and also in any of these other screens. Client deliverables. This is where you have deliverables that may or may not be built by your company, and if they're built by an outside vendor or provided by an outside person or a vendor per se that does work for your company for manufacturing some of the subsystems or systems or assemblies that are required for whatever you're manufacturing. The bookings list, again, is another list that has the list of the bookings, so you can go to see from the list view any of the individual portal records for booking. The next one is the client deliverable list, and this is the list for the deliverables, so you can go in and check on if they're on schedule, are they going to be produced on time, and anything that might be an issue with the deliverables, and also the actual delivery of deliverables is covered in that. The last one is the product list. The product list is just that. This is your product line, and it gives you a list view so you can go in and click on any of the individual records in the products list, and then you would provide information to round out the information in those product line screens. If you have any questions about how to use this particular application, you can click on the next screen and go to the client input. And in the client input, we're just going to give you a brief look to see that there are several popovers in here. And you can also go to the website for different people. But we're going to start on this one next, so let's go ahead and go out of this screen, and then we'll come back in and look at the client input and the team members for the sales group. Thank you.